Every fast food chain wants to create the next Big Mac or the next Whopper, but sometimes their attempts end up falling so flat they become the stuff of legend. Here are some massive fast food failures we'll never forget. Available in the Pizza Hut heyday of the 80s, the Priazzo was Pizza Hut's attempt at a stuffed pizza, which is like a deep dish, but with a special twist, a second layer of crust over the toppings that turned it into a full-on pie. It was just weird enough to earn a small but dedicated fan following. Unfortunately though, there were some issues. The Priazzo could take up to 40 minutes to cook, and it required special, costly equipment to make. In the end, it just wasn't cost-effective, and the Priazzo was dropped after only a year. If you were around in the 80s or 90s, you may remember when Wendy's offered a buffet that was so spectacular, it was known as the Superbar. With 3 stations that offered a selection of salad, pasta, and Mexican dishes, the Superbar had something for everyone.
Featuring salad by Selena, fettuccine by Frank, tortillas by Teresa, and everything a la Al.
Assuming Wendy's could actually keep the Superbar stocked, that is. With so many choices available all day long, it proved to be a logistical nightmare to keep up. And with prices dipping as low as $2.99 per person, the all-you-can-eat feast was often a loss leader, driving Wendy's to finally dump it for good.
Try the fettuccine, it's fabulous.
Introduced with fanfare in 1991, the McLean Deluxe was an attempt by McDonald's to create a healthier burger. They did this by removing a bunch of the fat and replacing it with a seaweed derivative called carrageenan. That led to a lackluster flavor as well as a different mouthfeel from other burgers, not to mention widespread mockery from other burger chains and even themselves.
If it's low fat, it can't be delicious.
Plus, the lack of fat meant the McLean had to be cooked fresh, which meant it often took much longer than the usual pre-made McDonald's burger. Top it off with a higher price tag than the Big Mac, and even the marketing power of the NFL couldn't save the McLean Deluxe.
Brain surgeon? Not!
Eager to jump onto the make fast food healthier bandwagon, Dairy Queen tried to give fans a healthier version of their famous buzzed-up concoction of candy, treats, and ice cream, the Blizzard. Enter the Breeze, which was just like a Blizzard but made with non-fat frozen yogurt instead of higher-calorie soft serve. So what's the problem with that? Well, for one, the mix-ins. Sure, you could choose some healthier choices like fruit, but once you started dumping candy, chocolate bars, and crushed cookies into the non-fat cholesterol-free frozen yogurt, a Breeze was suddenly not a healthy treat anymore. And if you're not going to be healthy, why not just order a Blizzard to begin with? The Christian Science Monitor reported that so few people purchased the product, stores were left with frozen yogurt that would go bad before they could use it up. Eventually, Dairy Queen gave up and discontinued the Breeze entirely. Launched with an ad campaign targeting hip young urbanites who presumably enjoyed their pizza on the earthy, crunchy side, Pizza Hut unveiled the Natural in 2009, boasting a multi-grain crust and toppings like vine-ripened tomatoes and rustica sausage.
What the f*** does that have to do with pizza?
Unfortunately for the chain, it turned out that people who went to Pizza Hut weren't really looking for healthy food in the first place, they were looking for pizza. With people pigging out instead of eating right, within a year the Natural was gone, and so too was the idea that there's such a thing as a healthy Pizza Hut pizza.
This Halloween, things will get dark.
Back in 2015, Burger King thought it would be a good idea to make fast food even more scary and released the A1 Halloween Whopper, which featured a black bun. How did they do it? They just added a ton of A1 steak sauce to the mix. Sure, the idea was fun, but the results were not. The chain received quite a bit of negative press regarding what happens after you actually digest a burger with a black bun. In October 2015, several Burger King customers tweeted at the restaurant chain complaining that after they ate the Halloween Whopper, their poop was green. And absolutely no one wants to think about what their food is going to become while they're eating it.